Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akmanakwath out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled Esau's Epilogue. Right? Esau's Epilogue. And over here I got the definition of what an epilogue is. Alright. I don't know if that...
Epilogue.
There you go. It should have played. If not, Slakia. But epilogue. It says a section or speech at the end of a book or a play that serves as a comment on or a conclusion to that, to what has happened. All right, a final or concluding act. All right, it's a concluding act on Esau, right? And that's what we're getting into is Esau's end, man. Really, that's what an epilogue is. It's the end of the book. It's the closing statement. That's it. It's done. The book's wrapped up, right? And we're getting to Esau's epilogue, all right? It being wrapped up, him being done, his rulership being done, and then there's going to be a second act, right? And it's going to be a 1,000-year period in the kingdom of him just being in hardcore slavery, man. Okay, and but his time here, all right, as he knows it, is just about up. All right, his kingdom is crumbling at an all-time high. You can just look around and see the world is in a complete state of disarray. It's beyond all repair. All right, FUBAR, as they would say in the military, fucked up beyond all repair, and it's an atrocity, man. You look around, if you just think about things, man, and see how people have changed in the last 20 years, even 15 years, hell, 10 years even. See how buildings have changed, and everything has lost its sauce, man. Everything has lost its sauce. Esau's end is apparent. Just being outside right now, I can looking around the buildings. The buildings used to be vibrant. There used to be even places like McDonald's. They used to have colors, and now they're just like it's usually just gray brick. Right? You look at the stores. They once had colors. Now it's just gray brick. You look at Pizza Hut. It's just gray brick. Okay, and and then you look at cars. They used to have those nice sporty concepts, and all the cars would be different colors. You'd have a green car on the road, you'd have an orange car on the road, a red car on the road, a blue car on the road. Now it's just black and gray and white. Okay, and you don't even see gold anymore. All right, with the occasional color being red, and that's it. So it's just gold, not gold. It's not gold. You don't even see gold anymore. But it's just gray, white, black, and red. It's all you see no more, man. And the cars, they don't have that sporty shape no more. Okay, they used to have a nice, all different shapes. Now you can't tell a Hyundai from a Honda from a Toyota from a Chevy. All right, you can't tell them because they all look the same. They're all after the same style. All the colors the same. Esau, the creativity and and even the music. As it says in the Bible, the daughters of music shall be brought low. There's not. The music's bad, the movies are bad, the designs are bad, the building's bad, the people are the worst of all. Esau's society, it's no longer prosperous. It's flat, it's dead. It's like trying to hook up it's like, trying to Frankenstein a dead dog, all right? Yeah, sure, you might get it to zap here and there and twitch a little bit, but it's dead, man. All right, so stick a fork in it, right? Because it's done. The society's out. And Esau has this grand royal plan. You're seeing it being implemented right now, where they think somehow they're gonna be able to recover. All right, they're gonna be able to quote unquote make America great again. It's done, man. I've talked about it before amongst coworkers, that were that were not down with some of this agenda, because there's still people that aren't down with this agenda. People in this truth about how you can't fix America. If you think about the homosexuality, it's rooted so deep. You'll never be able to change that. Okay, if you're trying to go back to make America great again in the 30s and 40s, they didn't have transgender people. You can't remove that. That is a disease that has infected society, and there's no way to remove it now. It'll always be there. It's gone out to the mines, and Esau caused it. But Esau doesn't realize, they do these things, and then they don't, they're like a child. They don't really think at the end of the day. They don't see how these are having repercussions for themselves. And that's really just through Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai, these these devils, all right, Esau, Edom, trying to shoot these arrows, but the Most High shooting an arrow at them, right? And you can't fix a society, right? And you're going to see the big thing with Esau is that they're just trying to take out all the Jake. They're trying to destroy Jake. They're trying to do different things with Jake and say this and trying to build this white supremacy fantasy world that they want. It's just not going to work. So this is from Reddit. It says, we are so backwards. And down here you have this guy, Benny Johnson. It says, breaking news, President Trump fires a chairman of Joint Chiefs of Staff General C.Q. Brown. It says, woke is dead. And this guy, Dorico L. Baker, goes and comments, and he says, oh, just call us the fucking N-word already, because firing a highly qualified black man to replace him with a white guy that is so underqualified that he needed a waiver is the definition of racism. Fuck you. All right? That's what he says. And they're replacing all these Jakes now because they have a hatred towards Jake. Okay? They don't like, right here, it says, Obama. It says, he was 100% scandal and corruption free. That was another mind trick they played on you, thinking that he was one of yours. He was a Edomite that had the appearance of being a Hamite, that had the appearance of being an Israelite. But he wasn't. All he was an Edomite, not even a Hamite. So this is Genesis 27:41, because look, the society was founded on the hate of Jacob, and Jacob's getting ready, the elect, all right, is getting ready to be saved. 2/3 about ready to get destroyed, and this society is about to be wiped out, and the kingdom is about to be established. And Esau is shitting his pants for short, right? So Genesis 27:41 says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. All right, and that was a blessing because the whole situation between Jacob and Esau. All right, Esau was out, all right, trying to get some venison to make the stew for his father, and instead, Jacob ended up getting that blessing with subtlety, Slakia. All right, and because of that, Esau ended up getting a different blessing. Now you're gonna have Edomites and all sorts of people that are pissed off and say, "Oh, he was deceptive. Jacob was a con man. He was conniving. He was a liar, a thief." All these different types of things that you want to say, but you don't realize that if you understood biblical story, you'd understand that previously, before we even got to that point, it talked about Esau selling his birthright for a morsel of meat. Okay, all right, for some red stew, some red pottage. And what you got to understand is that he sold his birthright, and your birthright, Esau was the firstborn, so he sold his birthright as firstborn. Now, if you know anything about history or historical Israelite culture, whoever was born first was entitled to the inheritance of all. Okay, and Esau sold that blessing. Esau sold that blessing, so that means he doesn't have it anymore. And now you understand that Jacob is getting everything, an inheritance. Why? Why is that? Because Esau didn't get his blessing, right? And Esau got another blessing instead, and he was blessed with the sword, all right? And that's why he does all these things, and that's why you'll hear at the end him utilizing his first thoughts of his blessing. In verse 41, it says, and Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father had blessed him, wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. I'm going to mourn my father right after this. I'm going to kill that motherfucker Jacob. Ooh. That's what he said, and that's why you see him stabbing, shooting, lynching organizations like the KKK and Nazis and all these different things, because they hate us, man. They hate us. And you're not going to get the blessing back, E. You're not going to get that blessing back. So I got to run in here real quick. I'll be back to finish this up, Lord willing. Piece together, you know the deal. Until then, Lord willing. Shalom, we're back. So yeah, let's go ahead and head on over to Ezekiel 35:5. Let's get it pulled up here. Ezekiel, and you know what? As I usually tend to do when I come back, let me go ahead and see what the Good News Translation is going on. I mean, it's basically the same thing. But here in the Good News Translation, it says, Esau hated Jacob because his father had given Jacob the blessing. He thought, the time to mourn my father's death is near. Then I will kill Jacob. All right. So that's how Esau is. That's why you always see, that's why they got, like I said, all these organizations, KKK, and it's just ridiculous. You don't see organizations of Jake that just, that the only sole reason of their organization is hating white people. They go, well, you got the Black Panthers. The Black Panthers were not that. Okay, that's not something they were. They were a black empowerment group that was not founded just off of hate for white people. Was it there? Yes, but that's not what it was. The foundation of it was. All right, and then of course Esau had to come and infiltrate that group, as they tend to do quite a bit. So bear with me just a minute. I got something that's bothering the hell out of me in my tooth. I'm gonna just bring up Ezekiel 35:5 while we're doing this. Bear with me just a minute. I'll grab this drink. Alright, so Ezekiel 35:5, it reads, now we got some words here, and like I said, I get these a lot, but let's, man, I really got to start from verse 1, 35:1, because this is all relevant, it's all got to be got. So Ezekiel 35:1 says, Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir, and prophesy against it. Alright, and if you look up and do some work, that's all you got to do. It's not even that hard. All you got to do is who lived in Mount Seir. That's it. That's all you got to look up. And it will be the Edomites. All right, you can go and look that up yourself. But it says, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. Now, Mount Seir was a mountain, so obviously it doesn't mean prophesy against a mountain. It's talking about the people that were dwelling there. And it was who? The Edomites. All right, Esau, Edom, the Idumeans. It says, and say unto it, Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. The Lord is against these people, right? It says, and I will stretch out mine hand against thee, and I will make thee most desolate. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou... Come on. I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, and the time that their iniquity had an end. So he made good on his word. All right, Esau was saying, I am gonna slay my brother. That's the only word that Esau's ever made good on, because you can't trust him for shit. Boy, he says he's gonna kill someone. You can probably trust him on that one, because he probably will, because that's what he is. He's a murderer. All right, and he loves blood. All right, and we're gonna get that down here in just a minute in verse 6. And it says, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred. Now, what does perpetual mean? Let's grab that real quick. Right here, it says long time duration. Really, what it means is, it says antiquity. No, that's not what it means. Well, here, we'll get it right here in the System Dictionary. Open it up. It says, never ending or changing. Okay? So, or another one is occurring repeatedly, so frequent as to seem endless and uninterrupted. Adjective down here at the bottom says everlasting, constant. So it never stopped. They'd done it so much and had a hatred so much that it seemed like it stopped, because it never did stop. All right, it never stopped ever. It's perpetual. Okay, so because thou hast had a perpetual hatred and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword. Remember, that's his blessing. In the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end. Here's verse 6. Therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee. That thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Since you love blood so much, guess what? Your blood's going to be spilled. Okay? It says, therefore, as I live, saith the Lord Yahweh, I will prepare thee unto blood, and blood shall pursue thee, so that thou hast not hated blood, even blood shall pursue thee. Thus will I make Mount Seir most desolate, and cut off from it him that passeth out, and him that returneth. And I will fill his mountains with his slain men. In thy hills and in thy valleys and in all thy rivers shall they fall that are slain with the sword. I will make thee perpetual, remember that word, desolations. And the cities, and thy cities, Slakia, and thy cities shall not return, and ye shall know that I am the Lord. So what is desolations? And you should know what desolation means. All right, can this work? God damn, man. All right, desolations, deserted, uninhabited. But if you look up the desolation, it says a state of complete emptiness or destruction. There you go, destruction. And that's what's coming for these devils, man. So that, like it says, that destruction, Esau's epilogue. That's boom, bam, it's a wrap. That's it. That was the end of your story. That was it. That was your epilogue. That was it. That was the conclusion. And Esau's conclusion is that they're all going to be burnt up. All right, and then the start of their new mini chapter in the kingdom, they're going to have a mini series. You know what those are. You know, you have the main show, and then you have a mini series. It's not a full show like the other show. It's just a mini series, a spinoff. You're gonna get one of those in the kingdom, Esau. So don't worry. But your big show is coming to a close. You being in the yachts and these big fancy cars and your big old houses and, you know, riding out and doing all these different things, these weird sicko things that you do, like your islands. Those are gone. That's going to be gone. You're going to burn up. All right, and those of you that don't burn up are going to be instantly put into captivity. There's not all of you going to be burnt. That's just America, right? You're going to have some Edomites from other places that are still alive because the nuclear missiles didn't get them, and those are the ones that are going to be going into captivity. And guess what? That is the end of the nuclear bombs hitting and taking you out, and all of your wealth and all that stuff going down, and your houses and this society being destroyed. That's the end of your main series, right? And your mini series is going to come in the kingdom, all right, where you are a captive and you are a slave, right? And we're going to get that in Jeremiah 30 and 16. Matter of fact, we might even get a couple more scriptures on that. But let's get Obadiah 1 and 10. And Obadiah 1 and 10 says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." Let's see if the Good News Translation hits or misses. It says in verse 10, "Because you robbed and killed your brothers, the descendants of Jacob, you will be destroyed and dishonored forever." You did good. I'll consider that a hit. So that's what's going to happen with you, man. And because you have devoured us, okay? That's what you have done. You have devoured us and put us into in a bad light, man. You've put us in a bad way, because, you know, yeah, of course, the Lord, this is all the Lord's doing. The thing is, it shows that you don't fundamentally have control. You know, you don't have, like most nations, you know, Jake had been in captivity from, you know, most nations had almost all nations, pretty much, if not all, had a hand. Pretty much all nations had a hand in Jake captivity. Not some or most. All of them did, in some larger capacities than other. All right, Moab was another really big offender. All right, but nobody did it like Esau did it. Right? Completely just lost their mind, man, shoving sticks up slaves' asses and making them have sex with their moms and eating them. There's been accounts of cannibalism, homosexuality. Like, Esau is just disgusting, all right? They're vile. And so they went completely overboard when they got their hands on us. They said, oh, you know, think about being a person like, oh, I got him now, I'm going to do butt stuff to him. What the fuck? That says more about you than the person you're doing it to. You're a sicko. So, another scripture I want to get is, got to get this one. Actually, you know what? I'll close out with that. So, let's get Jeremiah 30 and 16. This is Jeremiah 30 and 16. It says, Therefore all they that devour thee shall be devoured, and all thine adversaries, every one of them, shall go into captivity. And they that spoil thee shall be a spoil, and all that prey upon thee will I give for a prey. For I will restore health unto thee, and I will heal thee of thy wounds, saith the Lord, because they called thee an outcast, saying, This is Zion, whom no man seeketh after. There you go. And finally, it shows you that you devoured us, and guess what? You're going to get it right on back. And the last scripture is... Isaiah 14:2. It says, we'll start from 1. Isaiah 14:1. It says, For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob. Jacob is the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, right? It says, For the Lord will have mercy on Jacob, and will yet choose Israel, and set them in their own land. And the strangers shall be joined with them. You know, brothers and sisters that are in this truth and been following along, they'll know what strangers means right off the bat. So you see it right here. It says a temporary dweller, sojourner, right? Israel, dwellers in Israel with certain conceded, not inherited rights, is to share in. And it means of a foreigner in Israel, all right? I mean, i.e., they're not of the land of Israel. They're not Israelites, which would make them, yes, correct, heathens. And the strangers, heathens, shall be joined with them, and they shall cleave to the house of Jacob. And the people shall take them and bring them to their place, and the house of Israel shall possess them in the land of the Lord for servants and handmaids, and they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Let's read that again. And they shall take them captives whose captives they were, and they shall rule over their oppressors. Boom, boom, boom. There you go. And if you skip down to 7, after all this happens, what do we have in verse 7? We'll close out with this, verse 7, because it is completion. 7 is completion. Isaiah 14:7, it says, The whole earth is at rest and is quiet. They break forth into singing. That's all we need for peace. We need multiple things for peace. Yahushai's return, and the kingdom established. But one of the big things is Esau not being in rulership anymore. You can't have peace with Esau in rulership. They don't know how to rule shit. Look at their society. Look at this piece of shit, fuck-ass society, man. Look at this shit. Buildings aren't even maintained. The grass is dying. Animals are dying. Butterflies are dying. No more. You don't hardly see no more dragonflies, hardly no more. You don't hardly see no butterflies, hardly no more. You don't see no fireflies, hardly no more. You don't see no roly-polies or caterpillars, hardly anymore. God damn, you hardly even see flies anymore, motherfucker. How do you fuck that up? You barely see flies. I mean, which is a good thing and a bad thing at the same time. Where are all the bugs? You see them, but not in the capacity that you used to see them, right? The birds. You don't see the birds as much as you used to. You don't hear them. You don't hear the birds as much as you used to anymore. All right? And I know I live in a city, but even when I went out to Utah a little bit, to visit family, they weren't there either. And I remember being in Utah for a little while when I was a kid. And there was bugs and birds and everything. Not anymore. They're there, but just not to the capacity that they used to be. You used to see birds flocking through the skies. You don't see that no more. You used to be able to go outside and play in the dirt and find worms, roly-polies, beetles, everything. Not anymore. Hardly no more, right? And bees. Man, I remember every time you went outside as a kid, man, you had to worry about getting stung by a bee or a fucking wasp. Where are the bees? Where are the wasps? We have a little bush in front of our yard, and I see, occasionally during the summer I see bees there, but that's the only place I've seen bees. That's it. So, Esau's society's crumbling. You know, like I said, I mentioned earlier with the cars don't look as good as they once did. The music doesn't sound as good as it once did. The movies aren't as good as they once were. The books don't read as good as they once were. Everything is just, you know, it's all shit. The fruit doesn't taste as good as it does. It doesn't have a smell anymore, hardly as much as it is. It's not as sweet as it used to be. Everything's just, it's Esau's own society is crumbling. And imagine it's your kingdom and your kingdom's falling apart. No, thank you. Fuck you. You can have the shit. I'd rather have my kingdom where it doesn't fall apart and disintegrate. That's Esau's kingdom. A piece of shit-ass fucking kingdom. Where we have piece of shit cars with piece of shit people with piece of shit movies. All right. Can't even, you know, got government shutdowns and going on with money insecurities and all this shit. Don't even know if you're going to keep your job or you can have that shit. We don't want that. Well, don't you want? You could celebrate wealth, right? Fuck you. I'll have it in the next. No, I'll have it in the next one. All right, the kingdom, our kingdom. All right, well, not our, but you know, it's our split in kingdom. You know, if I could speak, goddammit, with Yahushai's sharing his inheritance with us. All right, and so our kingdom. All right, our kingdom, not specifically just ours, but all, you know, as Israel, you know, under Yahushai, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai in Israel. All right, and because it ain't going to be the heathen's kingdom. That's for damn sure. All right? But that's what we're waiting for. All right? Where we don't have to worry about if we did prosper that some fucking Edomite comes and steals all our money or shoots us dead or something like that. Or tries to steal our money out of our bank account. No thanks. No thanks. We want the grimy little, filthy little monkey-ass heathen, all right, Esau, Edom on the bottom and us on the top. That's how it's supposed to be. Right? Because we are natural rulers and they are not. And it shows that they're not natural rulers. That's why, look, their shit's falling apart. They can't manage. They're not good managers. So that's Esau's epilogue. It really, it's shitty for them. It's a great ending, but shitty for them. Built all this up just for it to be destroyed in 1 hour, which is great for us. I'm not saying that's a shitty end because, hey, that's a beautiful end because that's in the Bible. That's how it's going to be. But for them, it's shitty for them, right? Imagine if you were an Edomite. You did all this for years, built up the society, you know, confused all these Jakes and had them thinking they were Africans and all this, and then, you know, the Lord comes back in 1 hour and destroys your shit. That'd fucking suck, right? So yeah, that would blow for them. But god damn it, all this stuff that they had, their cars and all that just gone. Yeah, that would be shitty for them. But for us, oh man, that's the best ending we could ask for. You know that, oh man, and you know with the financial stability that's coming in the end, billionaires are going to be killing themselves and shit. It's going to be crazy, all right? Because without their money, they don't have none. They don't know what it's like to be poor. They've never had it before. It'd be a new experience for them that they're not going to like. They're not going to like the loss. They're not going to like what's about to go down when Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai really start turning this up, all right? And, you know, Lord's about to lay the smack down on this place, and these people are about to lose their minds. Esau's epilogue is going to be a bloody and violent end to his rule, and we can't wait to see it. And we're not going to do anything. It's just going to be Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai. So, vengeance is mine. I will repay, saith the Lord. Roughly paraphrasing. It's not our job to do it. So, just saying that because, you know, they're violent. We're not violent. We wouldn't hurt a fly. Well, we would hurt a fly. We're not going to hurt a person, though. We'll defend ourselves. You try to fight us, we will fight you back. But that's anybody. We're not going to go out and cause violence or harm or hurt nobody. Even Edomites. We're not going to go up and just hit Edomites or hurt them or try to cause them any harm. We'll hurt your feelings, as Elder Manata Zatba always says, all right, from GMS, South Carolina. But we'll hurt your feelings, but we're not going to hurt you. We're not going to go up and hit you with a stick or punch you or kick at you or spit at you or do anything like that. We'll yell at you. We'll hurt your feelings. We're not going to cause you any physical harm. All right, but we know you're going to try to bend the will and cause us so violent. We're not going to hurt any heathens, right? We're not going to do that. That's not the type of person we are. Now, the 144 in the end, that's a different story. But they're going to be, you know, spiritual warriors, all right, and physical warriors for the Lord. That's different, okay? And at that time, you're going to have all sorts of type of stuff going down. And, hey, man, but we know how you're going to paint us. You're going to paint us as violent and all these different things when, man, we just live our lives. We make our lessons and we live life just like, you know, not like everybody else, but, you know, we wake up and eat and shower and watch TV and play video games just like everybody else. We're not some demonic evil force that's looking for you. My next Edomite I see, I'm knocking his teeth in. No, that ain't us. We're just Oh, we don't even think like, look at that filthy Edomite walking down the street. No, that's how you think. All right. I'll be like, oh, some dude walking down the street, all right. And then once they say something like, then they're like, oh, that guy's a fucking, yeah, he's an Edomite for sure. You know he's an Edomite. Or you saw that one guy at the store? Yeah, the Edomite guy, he seemed to be an Edomite. Who knows? But that guy was for sure an Edomite when he said this. That's how we'll be. But we don't spend our whole life just like how you do, E. Talking about, you see that filthy little coon walking down the street? Little fucking filthy. In our neighborhood? Absolutely not. That's not us. We don't do that type of shit. That's Edomite shit. Our whole day doesn't consist of revolving around you, E. All right, we know we are your biggest thought. What can we do to this person? How can we do it with this? This with the Jake, this with the Jake, this with the Jake, this with the Jake, the filthy black animals. That we know, all right? And you do it for all the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Like I said, going back, creating groups like the KKK. What the fuck? You're never gonna see us create I don't know what you would even call it. All right. The NBS and the Negro Beatdown Society, where you all whites on site. You ain't gonna see nothing like that. All right, so that ain't something you're gonna see from us. We don't care about Esau that much. We hate Esau. We don't care about him enough to go and create a hate group on him. That's fucking stupid. But that's Esau's epilogue, man. It's gonna be a grand finale closing out the hands of Yahweh Shemi Shai. It's going to suck for him, but it's going to be great for us, and we can't wait to see it, Lord willing, as members of the elect, on those chariots getting, front row seat. Lord willing, who knows, man? Who knows what those chariots, what type of technology they got, man? You know how you watch videos on a phone, you can pinch in and you can zoom in? Maybe we'll be at a window or something like that, and we can just zoom in and like, oh, look at him, he's getting ripped apart by a bear. Oh, shit. Not that we'll be saying or doing anything like that, but who knows? I'm sure we'll be able to see what's going on during that time in some capacity. So in levels, because of course we're going to even be saved if we're of the elect, and Lord, when we are, by the skin of our teeth. So it's going to be like just barely, man. So, but Lord willing, we'll be able to catch a little bit, maybe get a recap, right? With some, and this guy getting ripped apart by a bear. Look at this over here. Look, this is vocab screaming for his life. Oh, shit, the Hebrew Israelites were right. Ah! Got his fucking ass on fire, right? Chariots zapping him down. He's trying to run, trying to juke the chariots. All right, hey, man, because all you scoffers and mockers, man, you're going to get it. You are going to get it. And we don't care about you. We warned you, man. So that's the end of the lesson. I'm going to go ahead and close out with that. Lord willing, was edifying. Again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to say shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Till next one, Lord willing. Shalom.